Welcome back to Dr. Finance. I am Andy Kim, and today I got some interesting news for SKKU students. Good news. We subscribe to Factiva, the world's biggest news article database. You can slice and dice with those things in terms of text mining, all these kind of things. And then I found that we subscribe to TS2000, which is Korea's data. Korean companies, governance-related data, as well as private company data. And then we also subscribe to KISS line, KIS line, not Love line or anything. Don't imagine anything, okay? That's also Korean companies' accounting data. But KISS line data is largely overlapping with data guide that I told you about how to download those things, right? Some of you may question, so some of you emailed me, oh, I cannot download and then use those data guide thing in my company. Some of my students are working in the industry right now. But the thing is, you have to come to campus. You have to come to campus. You are a student. That's not my policy, but the data guide's policy. We cannot affect them. We cannot change them. Okay? They don't allow you to download those things outside the campus. Your order has to go through the server inside the university and then go to, download it, right? So come, take it as a chance to visit the campus and look around and to take a deep breath and look around and enjoy SKKU's campus. Asia's oldest university campus. Make sure you just bring your laptop so that you log on to SKKU and then download all those data from Data Guide. By the way, I gotta shut my mouth up and then immediately I have to start using this Factiva. I mean, long time no see Factiva la over here. By the way, how do you find any database that SKKU subscribe to? Well, in 성균관대학교, you have to go to this library, database library of SKKU. What is it like? It's like lib library .skku.edu/number/er and then database. Okay. So come to database, alphabetically it is ordered. So you click anything that you are interested in. So I click K over here. It shows me any database that starts with K. KISS line, KISS value, what are those? Well, these are the financial information and data for the Korean companies. So there you have to download this manual and see how you can play with these things, right? And then it pops up like this. And honestly speaking, I never used KISS line or KISS value thing because Korean academician, the SKKU professors' incentive is not to study Korean data, but to study international data to be able to publish in US top journals or second tier journals or SSCI journals, right? They don't receive Korean data-based research papers. Why do we have to pay attention to Korean data? That's their approach. Then we have to satisfy that criteria. When we use Korean data, it has to be very, very unique to Korean setting that we have to convince them, right? This is this and that and that. Why? That's why we have to use Korean data. Excuse me, so let me use it. But other than that, it's just American data because American setting is just global standard applicable to everywhere in the world. I know many of you will not agree. Oh, culturally, so many things are different and things like that. But yeah, to a certain extent, American system, right? They established those market-based economy, whose implication could be applicable to almost all parts of the world. When we use Korean data, for example, in my case, North Korea issue, geopolitical risk, that's very unique, right? And everybody gets interested in Kim Jong-un thing. Another thing unique about Korea, we have individual investors trading data, nowhere available else. except Taiwan. America, we wish, but it's extremely expensive to get that kind of data. Korean database providers, they don't have a sense of the pricing. It's more like intellectual property rights are weak, so that they just release everything. Oh, here's individual investors, not knowing how important that is, right? Or the hedge fund managers. So we can get it cheaply over here. Other than that, we almost never use Korean data. Please understand it. But that doesn't mean that you should never use it in your class, right? So open to this one. Okay, go ahead and use it. Kiss line, kiss value. Okay. Other than that, you can explore those things alphabetically. What did I tell you? That's Factiva, right? Factiva. This is perhaps one of the most expensive data sets. And then this is the largest database including about news media. Okay. And if you click it, and it leads you to this kind of website, and then there, what do? Well, the Factiva is based coming from Dow Jones company. Dow Jones, Wall Street Journal. Yes, they are news media company, right? Financial news media. Not only news media, but they keep the database like this, coming from all sources of news, right? And then there, you do like full text search or whatever. You have to explore it somehow. Okay. Here I punch in Amazon as a search keyword, hoping to get some news articles about Amazon, Jeff Bezos' company, right? And then I did not touch anything, and then it is by default. The language is set to be English, but you can play with that in your free time. Search it, click it. And then it spits you out how many news articles? Well, all news articles, over the period since January 1969 up until December. Wait, what is that? Right, most recent one. That's like, October 1st, 2021. We are not there yet, but what the heck is going on? You may wonder. But I believe this is magazines, right? Not a monthly magazine that is supposed to be published in October 1st. But other than that, I believe these are the news articles, most recent one, September 23rd, right? That's today. Yeah. And then magazines like this, monthly basis. Anyway, how many news articles per screen? 20 per screen. And then here, 28, 30, no, 2.8 million news articles were found, right? News articles, they say, well, all publication, all news media coverage of Amazon during this period is like 3 million news articles about that has the word Amazon. Okay, Amazon. And out of it, news publication is like this, right? 2.8 million. And then Dow Jones, if you restrict it to Wall Street Journal, Dow Jones Newswire, it's going to be like about 300,000. And then web news, 184,000 news, blog posts and pictures and things like that, depending on the category. Anyway, so if you want to download these guys, right, and then do some text mining, how would you do it? Well, 10 years ago when I was downloading in NTU, I was able to download by the unit of 100 news articles per downloading. But now they restrict it to 20, okay? 20 by 20 by 20 by 20. You'll have to do it, download it separately. So click this thing, right? Check box, right? All 20 articles will be downloaded. And then I wanted to download in just, just a format, well, article format, let's say, article format. And it pops up like this. And right click, right? And before I right click, let me scroll down a little bit here. These are 20 different news articles, right, that you see, right? And then what is nice about it is that it has some vital information. Title, and then the journalist name, and then the word count, and then the date, and then the source, right? Handelszeitung, translated into English, yeah. Hatlen, right? Anyway, so all those information is here, and then the text, right, is seen over here. And article by article, 20 different articles are downloaded. How can you download it into? We want to save it as HTML format. Okay, HTML. I'm going to let's say Amazon. No guarantee that this is going to be Jeff Bezos' company, because it's just the word specified Amazon. Similar named ones, but different meaning can happen. Anyway, so Amazon 1, let's say. Download it, and then what do? Well, I go to this target driver, like the subfolder over here, and then right click this one instead of just double clicking it. And I use what? I usually use Edit Plus software to go to look at these source articles. For, let's see, over here. Yes. And then, remember those 20 different news articles, right? You only saw the text part of it. And if you download this thing and then open it, right clicking and then open it, the HTML tags are shown over there. Okay? What is it useful for? Well, superficially, it looks very complicated and then screwing up your eyes. But there are some convenient features, like removing all these tags, or those tags will guide you through. You can utilize those tags so that you can build up some spreadsheets or tables, right? And construct it, and then do some text mining after that. And then not just the text mining, but also like use, how do you say, topic kind of things. You can go search it. Let me see. Accession number. Do they have that article? If I look at some of these, right, document, right, it seems like those news article code, right? Each different news article's what is that? The ID number is given in this format. Original name of it is something called accession number. If you're a journalist, you'll be familiar with this one. But if you look at this, right? P like this. Okay. Then, yeah, you will see these document ID numbers for each of them, right? Division ID, articles, yeah, or this way or that way. And then you see article paragraphs and tags like this. And then there may be some more useful information. How many words do you have, right? The date of it, right? And then other information you can extract from this one. Of course, the good days are gone when the Factiva was providing all these things in XML format. XML format, they used to give a lot more information than this. For example, the industry classification code, what this news article is about, which industry, and what company was discussed, right? you can also, in that case, you can think about this one. I said, find me any articles about Amazon, but you see Facebook coming up, which means like company link seem to be the information. Virgin Atlantic is also said in some of the articles, Atlantic Council, and then other company, Council for Foreign Relations, all these kind of things. World Economic Forum, any organizations, and then some of the New York Times or Amazon, yeah, Facebook, we saw it, FTC, and all these kind of things. You can go ahead and explore. You see some Apple coming in, right? As long as, to the extent that the journalist or the machine in Factiva identify those names as company names, right? Or organization names, you can identify those and then scrap it. Microsoft over there, right? What do you do with that? Stock market event study. What happens to these companies, right? Mechanically, you can find those things out. Google, Facebook, even though we were trying to find some articles about Amazon. All these related companies show up. Okay, you can build up some kind of a network structure and then see how these stock price move together with Amazon, things like that. Okay, that's a part of something called algorithmic trading. It's a good start using Factiva. Okay, anyway, so that's Factiva database. Strongly encourage you to use it because we never know when our school is going to stop subscribing to this one. It's expensive. 매덕 원, like 100, I don't know, it's like a 100 million won, or like 100,000 US dollars or more they would pay annually for subscription. To the extent that we pay for that tuition, why don't you just use it, right? That's the idea. So that's Factiva. And you can explore even further in your free time. You can restrict your searches, like all these, what you see on your left-hand side. And then you can go back and then see other ways that you can enjoy playing with it. Okay? So go ahead and explore. I don't have a full guides to you, unfortunately, right? Then what else? FN research, yeah, that's close to data. What is that? Data guide kind of things. Redundant, by the way. So that's that. Another one, LexisNexis, LLL, yes. LexisNexis. Some of these news, Lexis Advance, must be the news article database, cheaper than Factiva. We've been subscribing to LexisNexis because this is cheaper, right? They should invest a lot more. Okay. Yeah, I should shut my mouth up. Anyway, so you search those things, and then let's say Amazon, right? Search all categories, and then they will give you some news articles, including those. What is that? The court's ruling, or just judge or law school related database, right? Case studies, kind of things. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of LexisNexis anyway, so forget it. You can explore yourself. Kissline, I told you, and TS2000. This one, okay? Until last year, we did not subscribe it. 3 years ago, we subscribed it. We halted, and then we are subscribing back. Why do we? I don't know. Really, it just comes and goes, depending on the budget situation of the university, okay? Just take it as lucky year this time. And then, what do you do with this? Well, who are the CEOs? What school did they graduate from, right? How many Songyungan University graduates, CEOs and CFOs and COOs do you see? And board members and all those kind of guys, right? Network power of your school. Well, You can measure those things by using TS2000. It's all in Korean. Sorry for, having said that, we have English version here. Yeah. Go ahead and download it. Japanese one? Hajimemashite. I don't know. And then, so go ahead and download these things. This one, some professors say it is useful for private company information. Great. If you are interested in IPO or venture capital, right? This must be your playground. Okay? Download everything right now before you forget. 탈탈 털어. It's like, keep it to yourself. We subscribe to this one. Why don't we just use it? 탈탈 털어, right? And then what? Coins. It's not a coin database, right? Don't get excited too much. It's just the public information, corporate information solution, all these kind of things. And then there are some manuals you can explore and download this thing and run it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. CEO, CFO, social network kind of things you can build yourself once you download all these things, right? Go ahead and explore. Kissline database. I've never used this one, but it's useful. I told you. Go ahead and enjoy it. So that's about it. And then some of you may wonder, is there any Pharma French factor database that I can download anywhere? Well, Google search Ken French data library. Okay, Ken French's data library. You will get to here, Kenneth French data library, and then he keeps and then updates monthly all those factor portfolios returns, right? Market excess return, and then SMB HML in US data, 3-factor, 5 research factors, right? And then more factors all around, month by month, they do it, and then they keep updating it. Okay, changes in CRISP data, 3 factors and 4 factors and things like that for US market. You go ahead and explore all these things and download, right click and download it. And then you can also see the data description, what these are about, right? So that's here, right? And then that's US data. Do you have some international data? Yes, they have those. If you scroll down, developed market factors and returns. Pharma French developed 3-factor factor returns. So right click it and then I don't know. And then you see it. And I double click it and it will show those factor returns, right? Takes time. Must be developed market. Yes. And you see monthly factor information, factor return information. Market factor, SMB, small minus big, value minus growth, right? HML. Those factors month by month. But watch out, these are available from 1990, all right? Until last year or something. The monthly frequency, you see it. And then another thing that you have to watch out is that this date format, right? Date format is not really in the, what is it? A date format, but is in the number format, which may give you some trouble. So you have to watch out when you import this thing. Make sure it is really date format, okay? And then it goes until 2021-07 because the file was created using, that Bloomberg database. Yeah. And then if you scroll down, okay, whenever you download any data, before importing those things, make it your habit to open up and scroll down to the last. Why? Because there may be some unexpected items coming in. For example, over here, okay, you need these are annual return data you are not interested in. Okay? For your research purpose, you have to delete this thing. Okay? And then, not only that, you make sure you have to make sure that you delete these things. Because the first row, the first row has to be the title of the variable or the name of the variable. Come on, where are you? Oh my god, yeah. So that's that. Oh my god, sorry. Yeah. So once it is settled, and then you are free to download these things. Okay. Import into your codings, right? Developed market factor returns, and then European, Japanese, Asia Pacific X Japan. Yeah, why isn't Japan inside Asia? Aren't you Asian? But there was a reason like that. Because the Japanese market was so huge, has been so huge, and then it's developed as opposed to rest of the Asia. So the itself is big market, and then Asia is something we say Asia X Japan, excluding Japan separately. That's how it works. Anyway, so X Japan and then Asia Pacific factors, things like that. Depending on your region that you are interested in, you can use these things, right? And then developed market portfolios and then things like that. Go ahead and enjoy yourselves with it. Other factors, you download these things. Another thing that I want to show you is what is it? Data Guide. Data Guide also provides Korean markets for factor returns. So factor portfolio returns for Korean market. I'm going to share those things in the Google Drive. So wait. Here I want to demonstrate how to download those factor returns in Data Guide, and I'm going to move on to Words database to explore some part of capital IQ. First thing first, the Korean factor portfolio returns, like size portfolio return, and then value portfolio return, momentum portfolio returns, and then market index return, and risk-free rate return, risk-free rate. All right. So how would you do that? Well, first of all, make sure you turn off Excel. If it is open, your data guide would not work. Second, make sure you are present in SKKU campus using the wireless server of SKKU. Can I download it outside SKKU? No. That's something I cannot handle, right? The contract between the SKKU and then data guide is just fixed like that. So you have to be present over here. You cannot be here simply because you are, I don't know, like some of you are accessing from Germany or outside Korea for whatever reason it may be. Good luck. Maybe your teammates can get it for you, or I will upload the factor return data, monthly return data, on the Google Drive, which is going to be up until July of this year. Okay, it's gonna be limited. Whereas if you come here, you can do the downloading up until whatever time you are here. So that's that. Now double click data guide, as you see, activate it, and then it automatically brings the Excel up like this. I show you like this. Okay, now you check out this tab and you see data guide. Happy, click it, data center, and I say time series. Doesn't matter too much, time series or cross-sectional, because you're gonna get to whatever you want anyway. I told you before, Korean database is like they make it like a zombie. I mean, all of the guys working for this data guide, I mean, to me, it seems like 영혼 없이 it's like they're working like a zombie. So their structure is very poor. But this is the only one we can use, so I have to praise them. But yeah, let's use it. Anyway, so risk-free rate, okay? Index, 지수 is the first one. And then it will show up on your left-hand side. Also, you have to specify the date range over here and then the frequency. So let's get back to that one a little later. Yes. And then for risk-free rate, you don't need to worry about the left-hand side, but you have to worry about the right-hand side. And that's fixed income 채권 지수. And then where do we have to go? Here in the economic. I think it is. And then financial. Hopefully this is it. Yes. And then 금리, right? 금리 is like not 금리, right? But 콜금리. So this is a core rate, which is a Fed funds rate kind of things in the United States setting. What is that? Well, the overnight lending rate from the central bank to the major banks in the commercial banks in the United States. That's Fed funds rate. Core rate is equivalent, like almost, right? Not necessarily overnight, not necessarily from the central bank, but it's like among the major banks in Korea. Okay, among the major banks, overnight lending rate. That's it. Okay, are they truly risk-free? Not really, but we just use it. As an industry guys, they just keep on using it. So 콜금리, right? And then it will show up as annualized rate. 연리 표시, right? 연리 표시. And then the frequency, I would say monthly, yes. And then from when? From 1990. Okay, why isn't it 1980? I wish we could go back to 1980. And then that stock price and those data is available from 1980 as well, right? As you know. But for the market index returns like small minus big or HML, all these kind of factor models returns, that's available since 1990. Okay, for whatever reason it may be. Okay, so starting from January of 1990, I'm going to collect the whole rate, okay, of South Korea, which is going to be our risk-free rate over here. 일일물 중개, and yeah, and then whenever if it is a trading holiday, what do? Well, since this is a monthly frequency data, I say take the previous one. If whatever month 31st is trading holidays, I'm going to take it from the previous day, 30th or 29th or things like that, tracing back. That's this one. If it is daily frequency, I would not do this. Instead, I would say exclude it and then drop it. But that's daily data. This is monthly data. I don't want to miss anything. I just take it from the previous trading day. That's it. Okay? And then make sure your cursor is in the A1 section so that it will be, going down the road like that. So submit it. Then you see like this. Right? 11.66. What the heck is that? Well, it is in the percentage format and annualized one. Okay, it's not daily 11%. No way. We call it hyperinflation. It's just the annualized return like this, risk-free rate. Now we want to change it into monthly risk-free rate. A monthly risk-free rate. One easy way is just divide it by 12. All right, and then double click it. all the way down, and then it's gonna be your risk-free rate like that. Okay, so that's how you download it. Another way is like trading based, day based ones, which is my RA's approach. You divide divide this guy by 252 trading days, right? And on average, right, 252 trading days are there for you. Okay, it can change a little bit, but it doesn't matter that much. And then that's daily rate, and you want to multiply by, I don't know, average monthly trading day is like almost 20 trading days per month. That's our idea. Of course, you know, it's not that precise, I know, but it's reasonably there. And then double click it. That could be your alternative risk-free rate. Which one do you prefer? Which one is more exact? It's up to you. Okay, I don't care too much. I don't care. And then this one is my RA's approach. That is more simplified version. 12 months basis. Also fine. It doesn't matter. And then, so that's your risk-free rate you can get. Shall I label this as RF? Yes. Yeah. And then, now forget about this. And then move down to equity index, which is going to be here, equity indices. And then you see, Kospi Kosdaq. And then I get Kospi index. Okay. And then factor model, you go HML, SMB, and mom, not dad. This is momentum. Okay. Of course, if you scroll down, you will see a lot of SMB, HML coming back again, but don't bother them, right? And then you see 2x3 matrix based ones, and then 5x5. What are those? Well, I told you in the diagram I showed you, 2x3, right? Which is size. We sort them by, and then sort the stocks by size classes, and then we split it into half, right? Small company, big company, 2. And then for each small and big company, what did we do? We sort them again by book to market, H, L, right? H, middle, and L. What was that? The value stock and growth stock, 30%, and then the medium, 40%, right? That's 2x3 matrix going on. 5x5, you can try that as well, like size categories, 5 different ones, and then value categories, 5 different ones, and then play with those things, and then each 25 portfolios return. That's what's going on over there. Okay? Don't bother, right? I told you, this kind of things you can construct yourself, but these are just provided by them. Not to get confused, I just stick to these simple 2x3 matrix based. And HML and SMB and momentum, that's it, right? And then here is an important part, okay? For this one, where do you want to go? Well, 지수 or index, right? And then scroll up and then take the 종가지수. Day by day or month end by month end, right? I take the month end value of these portfolios, right? And then they will set something as 100 as a starting point. It is going to be a 100 as a benchmark, right? Starting point portfolio is 100 always. And then as time goes by, if it increases, it goes like 101, 102, like that. Or if it decreases, 99 or 98 or something like that, okay? So the starting point will be 100, okay? It's supposed to be 100 somehow, depending on the, where the data starts to be available, okay? And then we will compute the index return or portfolio returns, right? Index returns on our own, right? Oh, why don't you take the index return from the database itself? Because those data return is made by a whole bunch of zombies. Okay, I told you the guys working in data guide, they're like zombies without soul. They're just punching in all those return figures without knowing what they are doing. Okay, in essence, it sucks. But the most reliable one is the end of the day index value. Okay, this is Beba Kent. It's like it's something you just, it's there, and so you use this one as your computation base. Okay, and then just like before, 1990, and then whenever there's a trading holidays, I'm gonna take it from the previous trading day and the monthly frequency, and then submit it. Yeah, you see it, and then quickly you see this coming up. Now, how do you minimize this one? I just click this one, and then you see this one, right? Let me expand this one. Yeah, so what you got, okay, I'm going to delete these things, right? And then delete these things, right? And then double click it, and then view. I will fix this one, and you see this is HTML, and then though that is SMB, that is mom, right? Okay here, okay there, and then okay here. Yeah. And then this one is COSB. Why don't we use COSDAQ? Don't ask me. It's just going to be our standard market index return. COSDAQ is only for small stacks and tech stacks, right? So forget about that. COSB is our ultimate benchmark for market index in Korea. And then we scroll down, and I told you, these indices are supposed to be, indices respectively, are supposed to be starting with 100 points, right, as a starting point. But you notice something strange over here. It's close to 100, but it's not exactly 100. Why is that the case? It's because it starts from July 1st or something, and then this is July 31st. So it's different from the starting day. And then we can roughly, and then safely actually, impute 100 to be the value of June 30th. Oh, professor, a couple of days difference. Forget about that difference, okay? So what is more important is your creativity and your ideas, how robustly it works, and generates profit out of it. One day nitty-gritty detail. Okay. Then what about this index? Well, the starting point of this one, I believe it's 1980 something. We already had 10 years past, so that's that. Nothing to worry about. Okay. In any case, we're going to start from July time. What matters for our index return purpose is, let me copy it one more time over here, and then I'm going to and then 100. Yeah. No. Sorry. Like this. Okay. And then actually this. Like this. All right. So you see percentage returns for each different indices, right? You see, I would going all the way down up until Yeah. Yeah, what is reliable so far is until August 31st, right? Monthly return. Okay, I would drop September figure because it's not one full month is over yet. So go down here, and I would say, well, reduce the number of digits. Just bring it down and show it. And then what? Oh, by the way, I'm going to copy this thing and then paste the value of it only. Okay, what did I do? Well, I just want to drop this. And I don't need those. Yeah. And then that's that. And then go back to risk-free rate and make sure that these guys also start from July. Yes. From here. Okay. And I'm gonna take my RA's risk-free rate. It starts from July 31st. Okay. And it goes until when? Yeah, September, drop them. Yeah. And then it finishes on August 31st this year. Okay. I'm gonna copy this one and move to the next one and then paste it as a number. Okay. Now what? We have the numbers that we need. And this one is our RF. Okay. Now what? One more time. I'm just gonna make sure these numbers show nicely. Maybe 2 digits or 3 digits. Yeah, doesn't matter. Like this. And I'm going to save this as data then perhaps here Korea index returns factor portfolio returns, I would say. Okay, as of when? 092321, the date of constructing this data. Fine. Save it. Yes. And then, yeah, you can use it later on. Yeah. And how about market minus F, right? MKTRF. All right. That's this guy minus that guy. Make sense? So big number? No, it's not. It's decimal place going crazy. That's that. And then double click it. All right. And going until last month. That's it. Okay. So that's about it for the data guide downloading part. And what you do for the next, I will take you to Wharton Research Database, WRDS. I realized that SKKU started to subscribe. That's me. And login. CompuStat Capital IQ. I told you CompuStat is a huge accounting data. Okay, the asset side for debt and debt and equity and income statement and cash flow statement, all different items in your accounting, right? That you learned in your financial management or financial accounting. Go ahead and download the whole data of the thousands of stocks in the United States ever since 1950. That's CompuStat. Okay, big data, and then you can study on your way and then find some commonality, or perhaps you can find some strategy to make money out of it. Now that's for public company, publicly traded company. And then that's available for some global stocks, which means Samsung or kind of international stocks data is available on that CompuStat Global, right? Some British companies and European companies, Japanese companies, Korean companies, you name it, right? Not all, but it's usually big companies. Executive comp, right? How much do CEOs earn or CFOs earn, COOs earn, right? Millions and millions of dollars they earn. For example, you like StarCraft, like Blizzard, right? Blizzard. The CEO of Blizzard earned, like, I forgot the number exactly, but 3천억 won kind of things, 연봉, right? Almost like a third of $1 billion, right? $0.3 billion last year, right? One single year, $0.3 billion. 3 years, $1 billion in pocket, man. Huge amount. Like, you want to compare, right? How much ambitious are you, right? By becoming a CEO. Go ahead and watch it, right? Income inequality. Go ahead and watch it, right? Tremendously interesting data. But that's, again, publicly traded company. What about private companies? Capital IQ is there for you. And then Capital IQ, expensive data sets. So we were not able to dare to subscribe it. But this year, for some strange reason that I don't know, our school started to subscribe capital structure data from this Capital IQ. I don't know what the heck it is, but you can explore it. Okay? Capital structure, what is that about? You know capital structure. You don't know? Yeah. So that's for debt versus equity mix, right? Debt versus equity in your balance sheet. Okay? How would you finance your project? Either from debt side or equity side. Borrowed money or inviting new shareholders. How would you invite? How would you raise your capital? That's capital structure issue. And capital structure debt, capital structure equity, and then capital structure summary are there for you. Each item you can go there and then explore yourself. Download